All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 723. I'm your host, Cheapy here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who went on vacation and came home with the shits, Wombat.
That's fairly accurate.
More or less.
Almost entirely accurate, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. How the shit's going?
I think we're done. I had dinner tonight, so that was like a big step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, I'm still here. So
your dog sounds like she didn't have dinner.
No, I know. It's because my wife just came home and now she wants attention. But anyway, yeah, no, it was that stomach bugs are no fun. I don't know if you know that, but
I do.
When you're
that.
up at 1 o'clock in the morning, hugging your toilet bowl and you're like bargaining with a higher power, just like make one end stop and maybe you could sleep a little bit.
Sure. I've been to Mexico.
Yeah. So I was not happy with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The two ends at the same time.
Yeah, it's not good.
So what hit you? What do you think it was?
So there's a stomach. Elliot caught the bug last Thursday and it took about 4 days for it to hit me, which it seems like a long time.
You're a man. You're a man. You're not a boy like Elliot is.
So, I mean, we think maybe someone someone on our trip let their kid get into the pool who just had the stomach bug, and that'll do it.
Well, if you're on the trip, the kids are going in the pool.
In the pool, yeah. So, I mean, that's our ground zero. At least that's what we're thinking.
Do you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom?
Yes, I do.
That's step one.
Yeah. So that's what we think. That's what we think. Because
write that down.
Elliot got it the day we came back. That Thursday, because we came back from our trip Thursday afternoon, and he was throwing up from like 3 p.m. till like 10 p.m.
Just mohonking all over the place.
Mohonking all over the place. Nice. Yes. Yep. I don't blame the Mohonk Mountain House for everyone getting sick, but that is definitely where everyone got sick.
It sounds like where the Mohonk Mountain House sounds exactly where you want to go to get sick.
To get diarrhea.
To get
right.
You want that mountain diarrhea. You don't want any of that city diarrhea. The mountain diarrhea is like nuts and berries and stuff. And city diarrhea
is it's a much cleaner poop.
It's gross. Well, at least you can spend a lot of money and get a stomach virus.
So much.
Right.
So much. But anyway, I mean, it's a lovely place.
Right.
I highly recommend it.
Right.
Outside.
Maybe a little more chlorine
issue.
in the pool.
I mean,
the Naples of New York? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's exactly. Welcome back yourself, Mr. Shipwreck. I mean, we had a lovely time. I saw celebrities. It was,
Who'd you see?
Saturday Night Live's Alex Moffat.
Which one is he?
He's the guy who just bought a boat, I think is his most famous character, or Eric Trump. He plays on SNL as well, and a handful of other characters, but those are the two biggies.
I learned who the guy was who does the cake show, because you were talking about the cake show. And he said
Mikey
his name.
Day.
Yep. So now I know what his name is.
Yeah, Mikey Day plays Donald Trump Jr. Alex Moffat plays Eric Trump.
Got it.
They do that together.
Did you talk to him?
Yes.
Did you tell him you watched every episode of Saturday Night Live?
I did. I'll try to tell the story in a way that won't bore you. So we're sitting at breakfast in the morning. Yeah. We're sitting at breakfast in the morning, and he starts walking he's starting to get led to his table with his family. And I'm eating breakfast, and I kind of stop cold a little bit because I see him out of the corner of my eye, and my wife also starts to see him. And we try not to say anything, and we don't say anything, and we let him enjoy his breakfast. He was literally sitting at the table right next to us. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. He's here. Celebrity sitting at the table next to me. That's always fun.
Do you think it was him that gave you the bug?
It's very possible. So
maybe the other way around.
Yeah, it was unusually cold that day. It was, last Tuesday in upstate New York, it snowed. And it was 40 degrees. It was supposed to be like sunny and 60. Instead, it was snowy and 40. So we were kind of stuck indoors for a good chunk of the day, for at least for the morning. And we sat around a table. They have this really nice lobby area with big wooden tables and fireplaces. Yeah.
Holy crap.
And coffee and views of the mountains. and we played some board games, and we're just, spending time and relaxing. And I walk over to get a cup of coffee, and he walks up as I walk up, and he goes, "How's it going?" And I go, "It's going really." He started talking to me first.
Because he noticed you fucking
Pretty much
staring
an
at him the
ass.
whole time.
He probably did recognize me.
Hey,
from
honey,
breakfast.
it's the guy from Saturday Night Live. We're being really on the DL about it. Nobody noticed.
So he started talking to me, and Elliot was funny because when I got back, he goes, "It looked like you were done with the conversation about 5 minutes before he was." And I go, "Yeah, kind of." Because I started talking to him, and he was so nice. He just wanted to keep talking. And he was telling me things about other cast members and all that kind of he was like, "So where are you from?" I go, "Oh, I'm from Long Island." He goes, "Oh, you know who else is?" I was Kate McKinnon and blah, blah, blah. And he was just really nice and personable. And then when later that day, we went for a hike. Because that's
You
what
and
you
Alex
do there.
Moffat?
No, not with him, with my family. But when I was coming back in, he was on his way out and he remembered my name. And that was kind of cool. My real name.
I bet you would have remembered it more if you told him your name was Wombat.
Wombat,
right.
Yeah, no, I told him my name was Stuart. And he said, "Hey, Stuart, how's it going?" I go, "Oh, good. Just getting back from my hike."
Good,
Great to
Alex
see
Moffat.
Yeah.
So when's your tryout for Saturday Night Live?
Seriously. I mean, I don't think I could have asked for much more from a celebrity sighting than the celebrity remembering your name 3 hours later. So I'm going to chalk that up to a win.
Nice.
I'm happy for you.
And thank you. And I'm not going to let Cheapy ruin it for me.
How would he ruin this for you?
I don't know. It's kind of it's like
too late now. He would have had to ruin this for you a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So
I'll think of something. Don't worry. Just give me a few minutes.
I know. You'll figure it out. But no, it was kind of cool. And that wasn't even the highlight of the trip. So
it was the diarrhea, right?
It was the diarrhea. It was the bald eagles outside my window and staying in room 666. So
the photography of the eagle was beautiful, by the way.
I mean, you do the best you can. I did have my binoculars though, so I got a nice close-up view. But
what is that? The scene and mise? What is that?
Mise en scène?
Yeah. How do you explain that to me?
The mise en scène of the eagle picture?
Yeah.
There was none, is how I would explain. Well, it was supposed to be funny.
It was funny.
I know.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Thank you.
How was the food there?
The food is bananas. It's so good.
It's so good, except for the crushing diarrhea.
I didn't get sick from the food.
You would think bananas would do the opposite.
Yeah, I did not get sick. I had a lobster omelet though 2 mornings in a row.
That'll do it every time.
Ooh, it was so good. I highly recommend the lobster omelet with asparagus.
Right. Just bring a bucket.
And the
2 buckets. Sorry, 2 buckets.
Ribeye.
You're gonna need 2 buckets.
Yeah.
They call it a double bucket.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good. So that's nice. And Shipwreck went to Florida.
Didn't
you just go to fucking France? Why are you going to Florida now?
A wedding.
It was a wedding.
Oh man.
Went to a wedding. Extended it for a few days.
My parents say it's really hot in Florida now.
It is. It was like 88, 90 degrees when we were down there. So like my every day was I'd get up in the morning and go out to the beach with Mrs. Shipwreck and the other people that were down there. And then like once it hit like 11:30, I could that's when the sun turned on.
Yeah.
So they oh nope, this is skin cancer now. I'm heading out.
Right.
So that's when I'd go to find the local Goodwills or the retro game stores and everything. That's where the magic was happening.
You should have come with me to Mohonk instead. It was cold. There was a slight overcast. You could have gone hiking with us.
The weather was so shitty that week. Fucking cold and rainy the whole week.
It was cold. It only rained snowed that one overnight. So at least I had some sunshine. But anyway, how were your thrift store finds there, Mr.
They were great.
Shipwreck?
Have you heard about this book?
On Twitter.
It's funny. I saw a thing on Reddit from that book.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was the person's thumb? Did it look good?
It was the feet that I thought were sexy.
Elon Musk owns that post now.
He does.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I picked up this book, the official I Hate Video Games Handbook, that I don't know, it struck me as I was looking at the books at Goodwill.
Those are the books that I was buying in like That one's adult, but it looks like the same type of book that it was selling when I was in
we
grade
must
school.
have all had the Pac-Man joke book. That's the one that I remember the most.
I have that around here somewhere.
Yeah, I love that book.
But this is yeah. So it's I mean, Emily Prager is the author of this. Prager?
Oh, from Prager University.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't tell me how to pronounce her name in here.
Right.
She's Jewish. How would you pronounce that?
Jewish.
Okay.
You're saying it properly.
Okay. Jewish. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She was a writer for like National Lampoon and Saturday Night Live back in the early 70s, late 70s, early 80s.
Yes.
And so it's a very much it reads like a National Lampoon style satire book. But yeah, that one picture, I had no idea that was going to like do anything. It just seemed like a random picture that I took of, I don't know, a picture that showed basically like I don't know, a VR headset type of thing.
It looked like it was literally what a person in the 80s thought, predicted VR would be, and he came pretty fucking close. Like, it's pretty much an Oculus Quest, but more refined.
Yeah.
Pretty good for the 80s. What year? What year was it?
Not bad.
82.
82. So that's pretty fucking impressive. So did you you looked up the I'm sure it's the artist that came up with the illustrator that came up with that.
I did look up the artist, but he's not on Twitter, and I can't 100% be certain, but I think he graduated from University of Memphis, if it's the same Frank Morris that I found. And
so he's a dummy, is what you're saying.
Yeah. But
big dummy.
Not apparently.
He works for the U.S. Mint now. Like, he designs coins for the U.S. Mint now, like quarters and stuff. You know the coins.
Oh, there go your free coins, Wombat. You just called him a big dummy, so forget about that.
Oh man, no coins for me.
So what?
No,
so you did contact him, or you didn't?
Minds.
No, I didn't contact him.
No, you got it. Why wouldn't you?
I don't have any of the things to contact.
LinkedIn, didn't you find his LinkedIn?
I did find his LinkedIn.
So
but he's got it locked down.
Send him you can't send him an invite. You can't
I don't know. What am I gonna do? Say, hey, I took a picture of this thing.
Yeah, of course. You might like to. Yeah, of course.
Isn't he gonna see it eventually?
No, he's probably a shut-in.
He's 75 years old.
I don't know.
I would let him know.
It was very popular on Twitter.
Yeah, I would you gotta let him know. It's gonna make his day. Or he may stalk you. One of those two things.
Maybe he goes after Eloy. Or Elon. Sorry.
Elon. Eloy, is that like the next Horizon game?
Eloy's somebody that I work with.
Oh wow. Okay. Nice, good name. All right.
What about you, Cheapy? What did you do?
Oh, I went to just like a resort in New Jersey for 2 nights. Nothing too exciting.
Which one? Crystal Springs?
Yeah.
You went to, I see, you like how I guessed?
Well, there's like 5, it's a big spot.
I know. Crystal Springs is nice though.
Yeah, it was.
Did you stay at the mineral side?
No. What'd you say?
Was it because of the recreational weed?
No, it was before that.
Oh, okay.
Did you stay on the side with the cool pool that goes indoors and outdoors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we go there a lot. Well, it's like our 3rd time there, maybe.
I was there once. They tried to steal $100 from me, and I won't go back.
What do you mean? I got to hear this story. This is going to be a lot more interesting than anything that I did.
We went there and we had a nice time. It's a fun place.
Sure,
it's nice enough.
It's a nice family spot.
Yeah. So we
very diverse guests, by the way, like all colors and creeds there. Very interesting.
So we go and we do, what you do on a trip, and we come back, and like any normal person or maybe abnormal person, I'm just looking over what they charge my credit card because I want to pay off, you use the credit card at the hotel, but you don't want to keep everything on the credit card any longer than you have to. So I'm going and I'm looking at my bank and what they charge me, and I see the regular charge, and then I see $100 charge for breakfast. And I go to the front desk and I go, there's $100 charge here for breakfast. And they're like, yeah, that was this morning. I'm like, I didn't have a $100 breakfast here this morning. And we didn't even have breakfast here this morning. We're leaving now. When were we going to have breakfast? It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, well, I can't do anything about this now. so you'll have to call back later. And I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yes. I'm like, fine.
Oh, you call them?
So I had to call them.
Oh, you were at the front desk.
I was at the front desk, and they're like, we have to look into it and check it and check each check. It was like a manual system. I'm like, why don't you just take my word for it? I just meant a lot of money. I'm not going to nickel and dime you over $100 breakfast that I'm telling you we did not eat.
Right.
And then it took about 2 weeks of me having to make phone calls, and every time they would say, well, someone will call you back within an hour to let you know that this has been resolved. And it would be like, and I would wait and I would wait and I would wait. And then I would just call the next day and be like, no one ever called me back. Oh yeah, we're really sorry about that. And they would pass me around. And to the point where it became about the principle of it, where I'm like, and also $100 isn't nothing. And I was just really annoyed that it took 2 weeks for them to admit that they made a mistake, that they would do nothing about it other than just,
you didn't just want to wait for 2 weeks to see what happened. You just like kept calling them.
Well,
basically,
I mean,
more or less. You just wouldn't let it go. You just like wanted to make sure they took care of it like immediately.
They were waiting for me to let it go so they could have the $100 and not have to do anything. And why they would try to scam me out of $100, I don't understand. And why they wouldn't just take my word for it at the beginning, I don't understand. Because I didn't have this breakfast and I wanted my $100 back. It's not nothing.
Yeah, no one's saying that you shouldn't get your $100, but I think they were going to probably give you your $100
But they
back.
weren't. That was just it. I would call, they would say someone, and they would pass. It was one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. I would call and the front desk would be like, oh, you have to talk to restaurant. And restaurant would go, oh, no, you need to talk to management. And management would go, oh, did you clear this up at the front desk? And then they would keep passing me around to the point where then would say, okay, you know what? We'll figure this out. We'll call you back in a couple of hours. And then I'd wait a full day and no one would call me back, sometimes 2 days, and no one would call me back. And I'm like, okay, well, let me call them back and say, what's going on with my refund for $100? And it wasn't for weeks where someone was like, oh yeah, we found out what room the charge was supposed to go to. I know you asked, and
do with your $100?
Did you ever get it back?
Yes, I got my $100 back. But you know where I'm not going back?
Right.
Crystal Springs. I'm never going back there again.
Safe haven.
Yeah. So exactly.
They have, you're going to miss out on goat yoga.
I've done goat yoga.
You have?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing. When Ty told me they had goat yoga, I thought he was like just making it up. Do you know what that is, Chip?
You do yoga with goats?
The goats jump on you while you do the yoga. They sit on
your back while you do yoga.
They literally jump up on you and climb all over you. And we tried to do it, but it was so popular that we couldn't get into any of the goat yoga sessions. And it's like $50 for an hour, and seems like a really great racket because you could fit like 25 people or so at $50. You do the math. It's fucking
just
goats.
To get a goat to jump on you.
Right. So we said, you know what? Let's just watch it. Maybe it'll be fun just to watch people doing it. So we went over there and we watched it, and the goats are just walking around, and they jump right up on you. We're fucking laughing. But of course they're goats, and they just like piss and shit everywhere. So they jump up on you, but then they just start pissing on you. And like the girls are like, there's like two like young women there, and they're getting pissed on. And the girl's like jumping up, and the other girl's like trying to brush off the shit and piss. And she's like, she just wanted, it's like not, yoga is supposed to be relaxing, take deep breath. But like, there's the really good chance that an animal is going to go to the bathroom on you. And how can you relax when that's the case? And, the women have, a lot of hair and go to the bathroom.
That did not happen to me when a goat jumped on
my back. My God. I mean, but they're just animals. Like, they're not trained not to go to the bathroom on you. So they just fucking whatever. Anyway, it was very funny to watch that. And we felt really good that we didn't pay $50 to get urinated on.
It's a nice place.
Because I usually pay $30, and it's much better at home. Much cheaper. Yes, it was very nice. I didn't check the bill.
That's okay. We all had nice times.
It was lovely.
That's it?
Yes, let's do some show feedback.
Okay. Idiot Man 09 says, Wombat, my wife and I were genuinely upset for Michael Voltaggio losing to Brooke Williamson for a third year in a row in Tournament of Champions.
Can't believe it was a knockout, by knockout too. It was really surprising.
Just like
thought he was going to go the distance, but
yeah, exactly. We both felt the gut punch for Voltaggio. We haven't watched the latest episode yet, but here's hoping Jet takes it all this year.
Fucking Jet.
Thanks again for the Jet Tila. Thanks again for the recommendation. This is from 2 weeks ago, so I'm sure he's caught up. I hope he has.
No idea what show you're talking about.
We're talking about Tournament of Champions.
Oh, okay.
And which the season has ended, and Jet Tila did not take it all. Tiffany Faison won against Brooke Williamson in the finals.
Faison, you're gonna win.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, she said you're gonna win. Faison, you're gonna win.
East Coast beat West Coast though, so that's good. That's always nice. And that's it. That's that.
Awesome.
Tournament champions.
Great.
And then Benjamin Parrish had this to say: I think Shipwreck may be in the same obscure bands that I used to listen to. I thought I was the only one. Shipwreck, did you ever get a chance to go to the music festival Cornerstone? It was the highlight of my summers all throughout high school. Have you ever been to Cornerstone?
I have never been to Cornerstone.
Are you familiar?
Yeah. I'm familiar with Cornerstone. You're not familiar with Cornerstone?
It's the ice cream place where they sing when you walk in.
So Cornerstone is, I believe it's in Indiana. It's a yearly, I'm assuming it still goes on. It's a yearly Christian music festival, similar to like Lollapalooza type thing, but with all the Christian rock bands.
I see. I did enjoy that this comment comes from someone whose last name is Parrish, asking about Christian rock music.
Benjamin Parrish would be a good Christian rock name.
That's like the perfect Christian.
And it's not just a dude though. It's like a whole band. And the lead singer is probably a female.
Yeah. We are Benjamin Parrish.
We are Benjamin Parrish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus rocks. Jesus rocks. That's how it goes, right? That's every song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just making sure I got it right.
Yeah. That's every Christian rock song. It's just a different tempo. Yes, we were all into the same obscure bands. Benjamin Parrish. They were the obscure bands that filled Christian bookstores with their CDs during the mid to late 90s.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So
it's man, I can educate you on that. There's a whole new musical experience that you just completely skipped over. You're missing all kinds of great bands.
Do they all sound like Spirit in the Sky? Because I do that song.
No, they name your. There was a list. See, you would walk into the Christian music store or the bookstore. There was no Christian music store. It was just a bookstore. And as you walk into that, you get there's like a thing posted, and it's like, if you like Smashing Pumpkins, you'll like, and then it gave the Christian bands to the right of it. They were like the contemporary. Or the comparisons to those bands.
You're like Spreading Myrrh. Is that a Christian?
Myrrh? No, you're confused. Myrrh was the name of one of the record labels.
Nice. That's what their albums go, right? That's an old joke. Christian rock albums, they go Myrrh.
Mm-hmm. When they get it.
Yeah.
There's a guy in my town. One of these guys who was like, in the robe with the literature in my town, going door to door for Jesus. And I was in the table tennis club by myself because I was hanging up signs. And the guy came in with his robes and he's like, "Hi, I'm with, Father, blah, blah, blah." I don't know what he was saying. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't, work here. If you want something to drop off, you can just do that." And he's like, No, but I had this literature. And there was all this, the guy who owns the club is Muslim. So, and I don't know how he's going to react to like this if this guy comes back. So I just told the guy, I was like, to be honest, I don't think this is going to work here. So thank you. And then
was that the whole story?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
He was wearing. Yeah. I sent him packing.
Newsboys CD. You like them?
Jew Boys?
I like the Jews Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I love them.
Is that Huey Lewis and the Newsboys?
All right, let's get out of here.
It's hip to love Jesus. Bum, bum, no.